G'day, it's Robbie again. Well, today we're going to look at this little jigger here, fuel tap. And this is a fuel tap that's a sort of a generic form that you find on a lot of generators, stationary engines, small motorbikes. They're similar format and they're quite a simple thing. They work good for a while, but over time they start to weep. Look at that, see my fingers wet? Just standing, and it's in the off position, doesn't matter whether it's off or on, it'll weep, and over time your tank of fuel will become no tank of fuel, will be empty. So when you want to use it, there's no fuel in it. You can see how it's staining all the paint here. It's been dripping for ages. So you've got two options. You can either try and repair the tap or you replace the tap. And they're not expensive. I mean, you can buy a replacement tap off eBay, $6, you know, 2 for $12 sort of thing, with the spout coming out that way or that way. And yeah, I've bought them. They're good quality. And I've looked at these to see if you could fix them. We can't get repair kits for them, not these small ones anyway, not that I can see. It's just not economic, I don't think. And basically it's replace the tap and just get on with your life, you know. But I have looked at trying to repair these, and I'll show you what's inside of it and what the situation is. Right, well here's the fuel tap out of the generator. I just unscrewed it. And here is one that I've pulled apart out of another generator. And you can see that basically this front plate and the pivot, the tap, are held on by two little screws. And once you take the screws out, this just lifts off, and you can see there's just a depression in there, a channel which basically rotates and aligns with the feed in and out port there, through the tap, then back out the pipe. And with the two locating dogs in the other holes. So basically, over time, this little disc compresses, of neoprene compresses. There's a spring in here, but it's only got a very limited range. And I've tried taking the disc out, turning it round to use the other side. Doesn't work. In fact, it makes it worse, because once you disturb it, it doesn't seal on the back as well as on the front, so you double your leakage problem. So you know, I played around with this a little bit, and doesn't appear to be any way you can actually fix it up from the neoprene point of view, and you can't really get a thin enough washer or shim in here on the back of this, between this and this, to actually allow the disc to come down and compress it anymore. So I was looking at it thinking, oh well, you know, easiest way out, and it is definitely the easiest way out, is to just buy another tap, which is what I've done, and problem solved. But then I was looking at it and I thought, well, I'm coming close. This little lip around the seal here is slightly above the aluminium at the back, that rim. You see, this tap goes in like that, and it presses against that little neoprene ring around the outside, as well as the valve, little rings on the valves. as a standing proud, I thought, okay, and I haven't got any washers to shim it. Feeling on this, there's a bit of thickness. This is slightly raised up above the bowl. So I thought maybe if we just run this over the linisher or belt sander, sand that back a bit, because you can go back just a few microns with it, that might be enough to bring allow the plate to press the little valve tap assembly more onto the neoprene washer. So I'm going to give it a go with the one I've just taken off, because this one's buggered. The neoprene is buggered because I've played around with it, and it's definitely not going to seal. So we'll pull the other one apart and give it a go, see if it actually does work. All right, moving on. Yeah, see, that is fully screwed in, so it can't apply any more pressure than what it's got. So you've got to move this outside plate in more, as I said. So we'll give it a go. Yeah, see, it's the same basic setup. But see, they're all a bit different. This is smaller diameter than the other one, I think. So, but you can see that would push down onto the outside of that ring. All right, I'll put it on the linisher and give it a go. Now I'll use my finest grit linisher, and be a bit more gentle that way. There we go. Should be plenty. I'll just have to give it a bit of a rinse off now. And I've never tried this before. It may not work, but you never know. It might be all it needs. Just take that little bit off. Feels alright. Feels firmer than it was. Alright, we'll put it back in the tank and see if it leaks. Okay, will it leak? Success. I'll tilt it up, make sure it's got plenty of fuel down this end. That fixed it. Absolutely perfect. That's all it wanted. Ah, how good is that, eh? That's all it needed. Well, there you go. There's one way to save some money. Fix the leaking fuel tap. Didn't cost a bean. Okay, I hope that helps you. See you next time. Cheers.